Hello, I'm so glad you can join me today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I am going to be making some barbecue chicken, and I have a whole bunch of chicken here. I just went to the supermarket and I bought a 10-pound bag of chicken. This is it all here. These are chicken quarters. Now, believe it or not, someone asked me if I could do a video on cleaning chicken, meat, fish, if I can clean it online, because they were watching another video and someone just took the meat out of the packet and just started cooking it just like that. Of course, that's a no-no. We have to clean our meat. Doesn't matter what it is. We have to clean it thoroughly before we cook it, okay? So since normally I would clean my chicken ahead of time to save time, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do with this 10-pound bag of chicken. I'm not gonna cook all this chicken today because this is a lot of chicken, but since I'm cleaning, I like to clean it all one time and then put it away so you don't have to worry about it later, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do with this chicken, which I'm gonna show you, these are pretty big legs. And I like to just cut my leg in half. And sometimes I have to just go like, because I don't think this is as sharp as it should be, and cut, and that's one. And then what I do after that is all this fat and stuff. You got to get rid of all that stuff. So I like to get rid of all this stuff because there's a lot of junk on the chicken. Cut all that fat off. Nobody needs to be eating all of that. Get rid of all that stuff. This is how I start out, by cleaning all this chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing the rest of them, and then I'll come back and show you what else I'm going to do. Okay guys, so my chicken here, my quarters have all been cut up. See the big pieces of chicken. So this is how you cut up your chicken. This is, I forgot, I don't think I mentioned earlier, I did mention that this is 10 pounds and it costs $5 and change, which is very cheap. So, you can buy some chicken, a 10-pound bag of quarters, cut it up like this, and depends on how big your family is, this can last you for a while. Just separate it in Ziploc bags and put in the freezer. But when you're cleaning your chicken, you try to get off. This still has some fat on it. You see that? Which I would take off. And in this bone right here, there's usually like some dry blood or something in here. You just stick your finger in there and scrape whatever out of there, okay? And you clean up inside of like this, all this stuff that is settled in there. You want all that stuff out, okay? And then you put it in some water. You have here, you can use lime, you can use lemons, or you can use vinegar, whatever you have, and put in your water. You squeeze it all in your water. This is a lot of chicken right here. I'm using like 3 limes right here. And you just squeeze. And then when you squeeze your lime in there, you take your salt and you put a lot of salt in there, babe, guys. As much salt as you can right there. It is fine. And then you mix it all up together. Mix it up well. Make sure the salt is able to get to the bottom, and the lemon, and get to the bottom. And you mix it up well. And then when you finish here, you're gonna just set this aside. I'm gonna leave this here for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll wash it out and I'll show you what I'll do next. Okay guys, now the chicken is all washed and clean. Here it is. I washed it off. I left the lime and the salt on here for 10 minutes, and then I washed it all off. Now just remember, if you put lime and salt on your chicken, you cannot leave it for very long, because what's going to happen is the salt is going to seep into the chicken, and then when you cook your chicken, you're going to have some salty chicken, okay? So leave it at least up, the max is like 10 minutes, and wash it off. If you're a person that have high blood pressure and cannot have salt, I would suggest maybe you use your lime, your lemon, your vinegar, and forget the salt. But this is how I grew up cleaning chicken. I saw my grandmother clean it, and this is how I've always cleaned my chicken before I cook it. Any meat, this is how I clean it, okay? Now that this is all clean, what I'm gonna do is, I've already separated some of it. The one that's in here, I am going to cook today, and this set over here, I'm gonna freeze. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season everything, and then I'm gonna put this in the bag and put it in the freezer, and I'm just gonna cook this section, okay? So let me show you how I'm gonna season. And there's no measurements, I just sprinkle. You can sprinkle whatever you want on there. I just sprinkle some. So I'm sure this is more than a tablespoon that I've sprinkled. I just sprinkled that there. Use whatever seasonings you have in your pantry that you like to use. It's a good flavor. This was all-purpose seasoning, sorry. And this is paprika. Sprinkle a little bit on there. This is a little black pepper. Sprinkle some on there. This is a little parsley flakes. Sprinkle a little bit on there. So by the time you're ready to cook this another time, it's going to be well seasoned because it was sitting in the freezer. This is some jerk seasoning I have. Excuse me, the black pepper is making me sneeze. I feel like there's a sneeze want to come up. This is some jerk seasoning that I have. All my Tinaraine seasoning is out. I have to make some more Tinaraine seasoning. But in the meantime, I love this jerk seasoning, and this is a little bit hot and spicy. This is hot and spicy. My daughter complains about the pepper. So I'm just going to put a little bit on so that hopefully she doesn't really taste it, and so she don't complain, right? So that's just a little bit. So then what you do is you take your hand, you go in there, and you season up your meat like that. Make sure everything goes all over. And that's that for that. This one I'm gonna do the same thing. Make sure everything goes all over. Now I'm gonna cook this meat today, but this is not all gonna be eaten today. This is gonna be for 2 days. This will be today, which is for today's dinner. And this is gonna be tomorrow, because I don't need to cook every single day. So I put some of this in the freezer, not in the freezer. I put some of this in the refrigerator, whatever is left over. And tomorrow we'll have this for lunch or for dinner, okay? And this one is gonna go in the freezer. So let me show you what I'm gonna do next here. Put this in here. So guys, now you have your chicken here that is gonna go in the freezer. So you want to mark it to make sure that when you go to use it again, you know, you remember what it is. So we put some chicken. And then when you put chicken, you're gonna put today's date. Today is September 13th. 20. Okay, so now I put my date on my chicken. I write my chicken, I put my date on it. I can put this in the freezer for next time I'm in the mood for cooking chicken, okay? I may barbecue this here too next time. My stove is already on at 350. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil here in my pan just to prevent the pan from burning around the edges and so on. I just put a little bit of oil in here. And then I take my chicken here and add it in here. Now to that, I will make some barbecue sauce, and I have some So to this same bowl here that have that little liquid in there from the seasoned chicken, I am going to put some barbecue sauce in there. I'm going to put some ketchup to that. I'm going to put a little bit of mustard. I'm going to mix this up here really well. Now, I know the jerk seasoning already has pepper on it, so I'm not going to put any of my pepper sauce, because as I said, my daughter don't like that much pepper, and I know it'll be too hot. So I'm not going to put any more pepper sauce on there, but I'll put this on there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this all over. I'm going to take my hand and massage it in here just to make sure all the pieces got some. And I'm not going to put any liquid in here because the chicken is going to create its own liquid. I'm going to put a little bit of butter, but I'm not going to put any liquid. Let me just make sure I get it all out. Basically, that's it, guys. We're making barbecue chicken. Take a little butter, and I'm just going to spread a little butter on the top to help flavor it a little bit. And this is it for the butter. And this is olive oil. I just put a little bit of olive oil on the top. And I will put this in the oven, and I will be back as soon as it's done. Now, I just finished cleaning and seasoning and putting my chicken in the oven. So what you have to do next is, once you get rid of your chicken, you have to clean your area. Because as we know, there's something out there called salmonella that's in chicken, and we want to make sure we clean our area well. So what I have here is, this is an all-purpose cleaner I have in here. This is 409. I have some 409 in here. I have a lot of cleaning stuff that I mix together, and this is my cleaning product. It's an all-purpose cleaner, and all I do after I wipe down my counter is I just spray my counter, and I just, because I already cleaned it with a little soap water, but just to make sure that everything is up. Okay, you clean your counter well. You can use just plain 409 if you want, but I mix my 409 with a couple things, and that's what I clean with. Okay, so now my counter is nice and clean and sanitized, so I don't have to worry about salmonella on my counter. Okay, guys, so everything is all finished. Here is the barbecue chicken. Looks yummy. I went ahead and I made, for today's dinner, I made some mac and cheese and some broccoli. Okay, so this is what I made for dinner today. Mac and cheese happened to be my daughter's favorite, so I made that for her. So let me go ahead and taste this for you. Let me taste it for you. Looks good, guys. Macaroni and cheese and barbecue chicken for dinner. Not bad, huh? Let me taste it. It's good. That barbecue sauce is good. Guys, this is good. This is, I mean, everybody can make, anybody I guess can make barbecue chicken. There's really not a lot to it. You just get your seasonings, put it all over your meat, and put it in the oven. Basically, that's it. So I want you to see how I make my barbecue chicken. It tastes really good. It's yummy. And I hope you can make some barbecue chicken as well. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys, if you like what you saw, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so every time I put a video up, you will be notified that the video is there. And share the channel, guys, because sometimes other people need help and people need ideas of how to make certain things. So by sharing the channel, you'll be helping someone else. Thank you so much for being here. I had fun making some barbecue chicken for my family today. I hope you have fun making some for your family. Until next time, bye-bye.